Swivl Sessions, interviews with field service entrepreneurs. Get insights and strategies from those who took the leap and risked it all to start their own home service companies. Great session today with Randy Huskins from Pup Poop. Jeremy, what did you think?
My main takeaway is how Randy has used his experience as an entrepreneur. It's taught him to be very customer focused, always answering the phone and tending to their needs. Really, there's no wonder why he already has 100 customers after just a short few months.
I never get tired of listening to people talk about creating a market. They see a need, they fill it, or in Randy's case, scoop it. But just a good-hearted guy up in Flowery Branch. So, Pup Poop, Randy Huskins, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Swivl Sessions, where we dive into the world of field service entrepreneurship. Now, before we get into today's interview, let's introduce the hosts you'll be hearing from. Meet Edgar, and that's E-D-A-R, and yes, that's his last name, not his first. As our sales guru, he brings invaluable expertise from the selling field service projects. He spells his name every time, probably because people think it's his first name. With a last name that sounds like a first, Edgar keeps us on our toes and makes us an impression you won't forget. It was terrible, I know.
Those kind words, Rob. Randy, I'd like you to meet Tyson. He's the go-to guy for tackling... He's the go-to guy here for tackling customer challenges and keeping everything running smoothly. Fun fact, his daily Panda Express ritual fills the office with a strong wave of orange chicken, which he proudly calls his scent of success. But we're not so sure. Tyson.
It's not orange chicken, but I appreciate that. It's actually, I don't even know what it is, but it's good. Last but definitely not least, to Jeremy and I, because he signs our checks. I'd like to introduce Rob, the driving force behind Swivl. But we all know he'd really rather be driving his Rivian family truckster with the built-in tent and optional rally fun pack off into the woods for a great adventure to escape it all. Even his own family. Just kidding, Christy. Give it up for Rob Heller.
Okay. Well, thanks. And just to correct your grammar, is to Jeremy and me, just saying. Today, we're thrilled to welcome Randy Huskins, the enterprising founder of Pup Poop, a dog waste removal service. It's a company based in Flowery Branch, Georgia, and Randy stepped, hopefully very gingerly, into the world of entrepreneurship by starting his own pet poop business right there in Flowery Branch. Their dog waste removal service covers Alpharetta, Buford, Cumming, Dawsonville, Flowery Branch, Gainesville, all that northern Georgia, Johns Creek, Lula. We're excited to hear about what inspired him to launch this venture and the challenges he's navigated, the insights he's gained throughout his journey. So, Randy, welcome to Swivl Sessions. It's great to have you here. How are things
Thank you for having
me. Poop world?
It's a crappy day every day here.
I'll tell you, I used to be in the plumbing business, and the guys would smell poop and say, smells like money.
Exactly.
Kind of gross.
Randy, tell us about your background. What were you doing before you got into the poop business?
Before I was doing this, I had a small fleet of mobile video game truck, the Atlanta, South Carolina, North Florida, Georgia market.
Okay. What is that?
Like where you
Mobile
have
video...
Xboxes and...
Right. Basically, most companies were using trailers. Well, there was only one company when I started mine, but now there's over 35. But most companies would use trailers that they converted into theaters. And basically, it's a big box with a bunch of big screen TVs and lots of game systems inside. Lights, flashing, fog machines, all this inside. Improved on the model, I think. I used buses instead of trailers. It just gave more of a spice to the experience. When you have a 35-foot bus pull up outside, you get noticed.
So where would you pull your bus up in front of?
Well, we primarily did birthday parties,
kind of...
but we also did corporate training, school events, church events, just about anything. We've done weddings where they wanted to keep the guys involved, so we'd have Call of Duty, Madden, tournaments, things like that for the guests. I used to describe it as a 45-foot electronic babysitting service. It's a party in a package. The parents never had to do anything. Primarily, our bread and butter was birthday parties, 7 to 14-year-old range.
So this was your first business that you started?
Well, I've owned many businesses over the years, but before that, they were mainly in the restaurant industry.
Okay. And before the restaurant industry, what
I
kind
was
of
in corporate
restaurants?
America. Sandwich shops. I owned 10 of the 10 Blimpies. Back then, it was a
Wow,
big thing. Now it's
Man.
not so much.
I
So,
spent a lot of money at Blimpies, I can tell you that.
yeah.
a huge fan, much more than the other one, the Subway.
Yeah, well, when I bought my first Blimpie, Subway and Blimpie were the same size. They both had about 1,400 stores nationwide. And then Jared happened and Subway exploded and Blimpie just fell by the wayside. There was over 300 stores in Georgia when I was a member. And now I think they've whittled down to around 20 or 20.
No way.
Yeah, they're few and far between now.
Randy, do me a favor. I can't wait to hear this. Walk me through the journey to Pup Poop. What the decision to do this? Was there an aha moment, an unfortunate step? How did you come to start the company?
Well, as a little bit of both, actually. I was doing very well at the mobile video games, but the pie kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because more and more companies were coming online. So where we were doing 300 parties a month, it was slowly whittled down to 100 parties a month. So I saw an opportunity. I had an offer on the company. I sold the company and got out. Shortly after that, I had some health issues, and I needed to, once I recovered from that, I needed to get out of the house. I was going crazy. So I was at a friend's house. They were complaining about poop in their backyard, how much they hated the issue. Started there as a favor, and the neighbors saw me doing it and asked if I would do their house, and it just grew from there.
Love it.
Let me
Love those journeys.
Can I ask you to back up? So you left corporate America. So typically, Randy, when we have these conversations with entrepreneurs, you're a serial entrepreneur. I think one of the first ones that we've had on. So typically we would ask them about, what that decision was to start this business. What was your decision to start your restaurant business? I guess that's the first one that you did after
Well,
corporate
I
America.
went from restaurants and then into corporate America. I worked with a franchise company out of California. I was a national trainer for the company, and I loved that job. It's just, well, my wife came up with the idea of the video game trucks. She had found one online. Actually, I think she was surfing around looking for an opportunity for my 8-year-old son's birthday party. So she showed me the idea, and the light bulb went off in my head, and I said, I can do that better. So I went out and bought a bus and built the bus myself and started advertising it. And the first week we were in business, we booked 300, and it went. Now, originally it had been designed to be a part-time business. I was going to do the corporate stuff during the week and then do the parties on the weekends, but it went from being a part-time idea to a full-time job immediately. We were booking crazy. We'd start parties at 7 in the morning and end at 2 a.m. at night, 6 days a week. So it was ridiculous how busy we were in the beginning. No one had ever heard of the concept, and it was new and exciting. So, but that's why I left the corporate.
All right. So, but you were doing the restaurants before the corporate. And
Correct.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is what is that through line for you? Like as a serial entrepreneur, what is it sales? Is it something new? Is it
new and exciting? I enjoy building the companies much more than I enjoy working the companies. I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of glamour in picking up poop every day. But that was the same thing with when I was in the restaurants. It was just opportunities. They started out with a single location. Other locations that were not being run properly came available at very good prices. So it picked those up as we were going along. And some of those became inventory, meaning that I would buy the store, fix the store, retrain the employees, get the reputation back to where it needed to be, and then I'd sell the store. So I was flipping restaurants there, but I usually kept an inventory of around 10 locations.
So would you say that you're more of an operations guy?
I am absolutely more of an operations guy. I'm not great at sales. I'm great at customer service, but sales, not so much. I'm not a pushy guy. I don't, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll deliver what I say. And other than that, I can't really push someone into signing papers.
Yeah, I think that old school salesman, my dad was one of those pushy salesmen, and I don't think that exists anymore. He used to carry a bag around it, but I think it's more it's the marketing side, and then the kind of leading people to the water so they can drink side. How did you get the business to build up that the mobile video games? I know we're here to talk about the poop business, but it's really more about like you as an entrepreneur is where we're going with this.
Well, since it was a new concept, I needed to get the idea out there as quickly as possible. So I utilized Groupon, which was really big at the time. And we sold 200 or 300 that we booked off of Groupon, which was always a very good tool for us to, whenever we had slack times, we just put an ad in, fill our calendars and then move on. But once we were established, once the parties started happening, I'd spent nothing on advertising. Everything was word of mouth from that point forward. I made sure my customers were satisfied. And the great thing about kids' birthday parties is that usually there's 20 or 30 kids there. They say, I want this for my birthday. So word of mouth just made us explode.
So, all right. And now you're used to starting businesses and understanding that there's kind of unforeseen, you have expectations that maybe are met, maybe are not met with all of your businesses. What expectations, but especially I guess with the pet poop business, what expectations have not been met, or what expectations did you have?
Well, honestly, I was expecting it to explode like the game trucks did, and it hasn't. My biggest obstacle so far is convincing people that this is a real business. For you guys from the Atlanta market, when we grew up, we didn't pick up the dog. The dogs went in the woods, and that's what they did. So
good old days.
Convincing people that this is a real business. Exactly. I don't have a lot. Well, I do have a lot of older customers, but it's people that have disabilities and are just aging and aren't able to do it. Most of my customers are just busy executives that just don't have time to go out there and do the.
Yeah. I can tell you, it's definitely a pain point that is with me. I have two border collies, and you have to tiptoe around the backyard, and it's a service that is required, but you just wouldn't think about it. So you expected it to blow up more than it did. I'm willing to bet that your expectations for other issues, cash flow, employees, your expectations are probably in line with
right now.
reality
I'm a
there.
single operator. Yeah. Well, yes, I expected to blow up, but so I've reevaluated those expectations. We're growing slowly. We are growing steadily, mainly from word of mouth, but I do a lot of work on Facebook, Instagram, and just getting out and handing out business cards at any event that I possibly can. Most of my uniform shirts have "We Scoop It," so you don't have to print it on the back. I get questioned about that a lot. So it's just re-educating the clients that this is a service. That's the hindering situation.
Now, do you think you're creating market? I mean, maybe the demand is there whether they use services like that. Okay.
Yeah. We're creating
it'd
a
be
market.
hard to quantify what that market is. Yeah.
Well, I've heard different estimates, but there's a lot of dogs in this area. There's a lot of busy people in this area. I just have to make those people that are too busy and have dogs aware that this service is available. I had anticipated hiring crews by now, but I'm still a single operator. The tipping point's going to be around 100 clients. We're closing in that number now, but we're not quite there yet.
It's all repeat business, obviously. You set up a contract with them, so
it's a subscription business month to month. And we have a few commercial accounts, but primarily it's residential.
And then
looking by the pet or by the yard size,
we charge a little bit of both, actually. We charge by the dog, but our average yard is about an eighth of an acre. So if we go in and it's a half an acre or an acre lot, then we charge by the hour. but normally a normal eighth of an acre yard would take us 20 minutes.
So you don't factor in size of dog either, because that's certainly
No.
a factor. I've seen it.
Honestly, I prefer the big ones. It's a lot easier to find the poop.
I mean, it's got to be tough to QA that quality assurance, that kind of work, right? I mean, if you miss a turd here or there, I mean, it's
we do
calling you
offer
back and say, hey, you miss them.
Yeah, we don't have that very often, but we do have a guarantee that if we do miss stuff, we will come and give you a free scoop. But I don't think I've ever had
Free scoop.
So free scoop.
Like ice cream.
They're never ending. I love it.
It's mainly it's 100% residential, or do you have some commercial accounts?
No, I have a few
working
commercial
with?
accounts, and the commercial
Okay.
accounts that I have are rental communities. Some of them I just do the pet waste stations. Some of them I do the yards. The price is actually built into the rent that they pay every. And before they called me, they were having a real problem. Landscapers wouldn't go into the yards because of the amount of dog poop, things like that. And the customers were actually being fined $350, $400.
Wow.
It was cost effective to bring me in.
My mom used to live at it was a independent living. None of those people picked up their dog poop.
No.
So there's another opportunity.
Wonderful opportunities for me, yes.
Absolutely.
It's hard to believe that the technology would come into play with this company, but I know it has to. Randy, is there a specific way you use technology with Pup Poop? Are you using any software? Are you using any type of scheduling or
all the electronics and is all on my from my website. The CRMs that I use Sweep and Go, which is primarily built for scooper companies. But it was built by a scooper company, so they know what the company needed. I think they probably took another system and then just modified it to the point where it was perfect for us. But everything is available from the website, so I don't really have to do anything. I can give quotes, I can answer phone calls, I can return emails, all from the field, simply through the CRM.
So it has a built-in phone app inside of it?
Absolutely.
And emails.
And honestly, the biggest complaint I get, not a complaint about me, but about the industry and possible, is that people don't answer their phone. Customers will call, customers will leave a message, and they never get a call back. I answer every phone call, I answer every email personally. They don't have to wait, but the number of people that have called me and said, no one ever called me back.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I understand
that a lot.
Run a business like doing that.
Yeah, that's just
business 101. Pick up the phone.
Customer service 101. I mean, answer your damn phone. That's all you can do.
It's so true. So your expectations were that was going to blow up, but now you have a more realistic one. Yeah. Hold on a second, Randy. I guess you have a call coming in, right? No worries.
Yeah, I sent it to voicemail after I say I answer every phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I certainly hope we have that.
That'll cost you.
All right. Do you have any expectations in revenues or any goals you have in mind for this year, next year, year after?
Well,
I mean, obviously, someone like you're looking to scale as much as possible.
Right. We've just been doing this since June, so I'm relatively new into this industry. But next year revenues, I'm estimating 6 figures. I hope to go over 100,000, and then from that point forward, it just depends. All it takes is the right commercial contract. There are several that I've bid on here in the area that have 190 homes, and they do those once or twice a week. So that immediately grows me from one revenue stream to an entirely different revenue stream. Hopefully, cross my fingers, I'll get those contracts.
And you'll cover Atlanta area?
Cover Atlanta, Dawson, Forsyth, Hall County. I try to stay on the northern part of Atlanta, and we try to group them as much as possible.
So tell me, what do you charge for, say, like a quarter acre lot, 2 dogs?
Just 2 dogs would be $20 per week, $80 per month.
That is so worth it.
I mean,
Bob's going to call you after this.
So the burning question that I wanted to ask coming into this was, what do you do with all the poop?
Well, that depends. We have two services available. One, we can just drop it in the customer's bin. We'll double bag it and make sure that it's nice and tidy and drop it in the customer's bin. But if the customer requests takeaway service, like a lot of the commercial properties do, we have a dedicated dumpster that we have rented, and it's picked up twice a week.
I was just thinking about, like, is there any way to monetize that? I know
No.
that's a strange question, but like fertilizer, you can't use it as fertilizer. They say like human and dog poop, but I don't understand why.
It is not. It actually works against the grass, not for the grass.
Wow. I never knew that.
I've always heard that too. It was great fertilizer for the lawn. No, it's not. It kills your grass. So you have to get it out. Plus it can pollute the water tables. There's a lot of negatives to dog poop, diseases, insects. Just there's not a lot of good that comes from dog poop.
Never knew that.
Like some kind of
Smell very good either.
biofuel. I'm sure there's something that we come up, put our heads together and come up with, like.
We got to find this. We cracked the code.
Well, there are a lot larger companies than there are a lot larger companies, especially up in the Midwest, that they bring in tons per week. And if they could monetize it, I'm sure they would have. But no one's found an opportunity yet. No.
All right, we'll try to figure that one out.
You can see the wheels turning, Rob.
I know it. I know. So you've got big goals. How big are those companies out in the Midwest? I'm sure, is that who you are modeling yourself after?
Yeah. One of the biggest is a 7 figures. Just an example, I'm working on getting to 100 now. They signed up 450 in 1 month.
What?
Just a completely different market, but they've been in business for 9 years. They have name recognition. They've educated the consumers. So it's a much needed thing. Plus they have trucks everywhere. They have 16 or 17 trucks, all of them fully wrapped. So that's just a driving, loving sign for them. Best marketing you can get.
You can extrapolate maybe what that total market, total available market, like per capita, might be based off of what they have created. I mean, I think it's a service that a lot of people they're not aware exists almost.
Exactly. Re-educating the
really
clients.
Yeah,
the customer base just don't know it's out.
Right. That makes this business just super interesting. So let's get into like you have an exit strategy. I mean, you've exited several businesses. Are you looking to just build this up and sell it, go on to the next favorite thing, the next new and exciting thing?
Well, I have a 5-year a 5-year plan. Hopefully I'll be at the 500 to 1,000 customer mark by then, which is a very nice monthly revenue. And then, I will probably sell it. I've actually been approached 3 times already by other companies wanting to buy my customer base. So I think that's actually the easiest way to increase your customer base is to buy someone at
the right price, I suppose. You've been in business since June, and you've been approached that many
3 times. Yeah,
that's
one
incredible.
The first week. I'm on Facebook a lot with my creative, and I think it presents myself as if I'm a much larger company than I actually am.
Yeah. Still. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Randy, do you align with yourself, or do you try to get in good with any of these other pet service industries
Absolutely.
that are out there?
Most of my face-to-face meetings are with veterinarians, groomers, trainers, any of those people. I try to create B2B situations where I give them something, they give me something.
Absolutely.
We try to promote. I'm working with a couple of landscape companies that will recommend problem yards, and they'll put my business cards out, and I've gotten multiple customers from those.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, the whole thing about growing a business is getting the name out there, getting face-to-face with as many people as possible, and explaining what you do.
Yeah. Would you have any plans in the future to expand the scope of your offerings, or is it, you think, like sticking to that one thing, do it well?
Well, there's possibility of franchising down the road, but I've got to establish this first.
I meant more
most of the other companies.
I'm sorry. I meant more like dog walking along with the
No, that's just too time consuming for me. And there's other companies that have been out there that are in the area that do it much better.
Yeah.
But I do utilize the dog walking sites to advertise. So I get a lot of customers from them.
Do you anticipate or fear those? And there's a lot of big dog walking, dog sitting companies going into this business.
No.
Or is it?
Well, anybody could do this business. Honestly, it's not brain surgery. It's just that, no, I mean, the number of animals that are out there, the number of people that are out there, it's big enough for.
Gotcha. Well, guys, anything else? There you are.
Right. We're not looking to take over the market. We just want our own little slots.
Gotcha. All right, Randy. Well, we've covered some ground today. Yeah, your journey building Pup Poop is pretty interesting. You know, I've really enjoyed the insights you shared about it and your other businesses too. But before we wrap things up, considering that the focus here is about entrepreneurship in general, what else would you want our audience to take away from this conversation or your experience really as an entrepreneur in many things, but maybe especially on this last venture of yours? What would you put some final advice, I guess, for those who are looking to follow in your entrepreneurial footsteps or even with this business?
Well, what I would normally say is find something you love and do, just figure out a way to make money from it. But not so much in this business. Find a service that's needed, find something that people actually need and figure out a way to make money from that. I've seen a couple of your other interviews with the junk hauler and things like that. And they saw a need, they filled that need. And that's what I'm doing. I'm filling a need.
You are indeed. Absolutely. All right, that's fantastic. All right, Randy, thank you so much for sharing.
You're an affable guy, Randy. You come across as such a good person, and you obviously care about the customer experience. So that's one of the things that we see.
Customer service is
all of these.
That's the number one goal. Absolutely. If you can't give customer service, you shouldn't be in this industry.
You understand the market, that's for sure. So thanks for sharing your journey and insights with us today. We really do appreciate the time you took to speak with us and to anyone watching or listening. I think your story will resonate to a lot of those aspiring.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's, again, enlightening conversation. A huge thank you to Randy Huskins for sharing those valuable insights and stories. It's great to see how much hard work and passion that you put into building Pup Poop and how it's paying off. And so for all of you watching or listening, if you're in the kind of north of Atlanta area and need residential or commercial pet waste removal, make sure to reach out to Pup Poop. You can find their contact information right here on the screen.
Put your finger out, Randy. There you go.
And they're ready to help you with your pet waste removal. You can trust that you're working with a true expert in pet waste removal. Once again, thank you, Randy, for being here with us on Swivl Sessions. Thank you for listening or watching. Swivl's field service software is everything you need to run your field service for free. Until next time, check us out at swivl.tech. That's SWIVL.tech. And that's a wrap.